Hello everybody, welcome to this video about mean absolute deviation. The first thing you should know about mean absolute deviation is that it's a calculation that describes the average amount of spread between data values from the mean. The objectives of this video are so that you should be able to calculate the mean absolute deviation of a real-world data set. You should be able to understand that the mean absolute deviation measures how spread out the data values are from the mean. And you should be able to interpret the mean absolute deviation within the context of a problem in complete sentences. We're going to start off with this example, which is going to use a model very similar to how the Khan Academy video showed. Thompson High School theater students are responsible for selling tickets for an upcoming school play. The dot plot represents the number of tickets sold by the first 10 students submitting money. Calculate the average number of tickets sold per students. Represent the mean of the data set by placing a star below the corresponding value on the dot plot. So the first thing that they said we need to actually do is calculate the average number of tickets sold, and then they said put that mean below that spot on the dot plot. Okay? Well, there's the dot plot. Example 1, there's the dot plot. Okay, the words that are below the dot plot are going towards what we're going to do second. But the first thing we need to do is we need to calculate the mean. So I have this number 10, and the number 10 happens once. So that means we're going to do it. We're going to write the number 10, and we're going to add to that the number 11, and the number 11 happens 3 times. So I have to do a plus 11 and 11. And 11. We're trying to find the mean, so we're going to add together the rest of the points. 12 happens once, 15 happens once, and then 16, and 18 happens 3 times. Add together all of those numbers. What I get is 140. To turn this sum into a mean, we need to take that number 140 and we're going to divide by how many values there were. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different points. So let me write that a little bit off to the side. 140 divided by 10 different data points means that the average, or the mean, it will be the number 14. At 14, you can use the star tool in the Google slide, or you can just draw a star if you have that ability. Now that we have the star, now we can do these directions that are below this dot plot. Each dot represents a data value that has been replaced with a square in the number line below. Okay, so the number line down here at the bottom is exactly the same as the one on top, but they just put squares instead of dots. Represent the mean value of the data with a star. On this bottom part, also draw a star in the same place. Fill in each square with the number of units the data value is from the mean. In the square, the number of units from the mean. So that means this number 12, how far away is 12 from 14? What is that distance? The distance between 12 to 14 is 2 spaces. So in this box for 12, we're going to put the number 2. Then we find out how many spaces are there between 11 and 14. And that is 3 spaces. Each one of these blanks that represented 11 means 3 spaces from 14. If we go one more space to the left, the number 10 is 4 spaces away from 14. And we're going to do the same thing on the right side. 15 is 1 space away. You can count that right there. There's just one little blank space in between those two. 16 is 2 spaces from the mean, which is 14. 18 is 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away. Okay, once you fill in each of those boxes with those numbers, we're done with this first part of example 1. We're continuing example 1. This is the last part for example 1. Type in each of the values you wrote on the previous slide into the above space. This is a list, so use commas between each number. Okay, so I'm going to take each of these numbers up here, and I'm going to write them down in the next slide. You will just need to flip back and forth between your slides and use your keyboard to type the values. 4333. Okay, I have them all written. Then the next thing we're going to do is do the next set of instructions, which says add together all of your values and type that sum on the next line of the text box. Label it as a sum. It says label it as a sum. So my sum of these numbers right above it, let me get my calculator. I'm going to do all of these numbers added together. 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. I get the number 30. Finally, let's do the last step, which says divide the sum by how many numbers you typed in the first line. We are finding the mean absolute deviation, so label your answer as MAD. Label your answer as MAD. So we have MAD is equal to whenever we divide the sum by how many numbers were typed in the first line. The first line had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers. So the MAD is 30 divided by 10, which is 3. That's it. We found the MAD, the mean absolute deviation. That means that on average, from all of these 10 data points here, or actually, since we'll go back to the original, from all of these 10 black dots here, on average, they are 3 spaces away from the star in the center.